That's on the list, but I have to find somebody to do it because we're
No,
maxed.
I want to show you how to use a software called UCam 9 because one of the video clips is of 10 microphones all being in front of you like you're holding a press conference. So I shot a 6-minute video the other day and I said, you guys, I'm so excited. I just called a press conference and everybody started to laugh. But you can make these videos and then you can do downtown Times Square. You can be in a jungle. It's really cool. I'll show you how to use it. It's super simple. And you can stream everything to YouTube and then you can text it out.
And you're gonna do those short video clips for us, right?
Sure. I can help you.
Oh, did you hear that, everybody?
I did. I nothing else
Recorded.
You get a TV personality and a makeup artist all in one.
Got it, Diane. We'll talk.
I'm having a little bit of an issue streaming on Facebook Live, but I'm going to record it so we can post it later. Hopefully it'll pull up in the middle, but I do want to get us started. Thank you everyone for joining us. And today, before we have Shawn teach us a few things, I thought it'd be nice to go around since we have so many people on today and introduce ourselves. If we can just keep it to your name and your business so we can get through everyone and then Shawn can start teaching us. When I call on you, just again, your name, your business, so everyone on here knows who you are. We have a few new people. So I'll go ahead and start. My name is Melissa Ray. I am the Director of Programs and Marketing here at the Concord Chamber of Commerce. And I'm going to hand it over to Tamara.
And I am Tamara Steiner. I am the publisher and editor of the Concord Clayton Pioneer newspaper and the Concord Pioneer Pioneer Publishers website.
Thank you. Claudia.
I am Claudia and I am with Guernica Academy of Medical Arts. We are a medical college.
Thank you. Grace.
Hey, my name is Grace. I'm the branch manager of HSBC Bank in Concord.
Thank you. Pam Bayer.
Hi, I'm Pam Bayer with Bayer & Associates. We're a bookkeeping and tax prep firm.
Terry.
Vinny? I am Vinny Campus. Did you say Vinny?
Sorry. Go ahead.
So I'm Vinny Camposano and previously representing East Bay Disc Centers and as of today, representing myself as Vincent Michael Management Consultants.
Oh, thanks, Vinny. Terry.
Yeah, Terry Nuno with Liberty Gymnastics Training Center, and I am their Special Events and Public Relations Director.
Belma.
Hi, everyone. Belma Mirbeck, I'm Financial Advisor with Edward Jones.
Caitlin.
You're muted.
Sorry, I know. I apparently, after all these months, still don't know how to unmute myself. I'm Caitlin Sly. I'm with Meals on Wheels Diablo region and also a board member of the Concord Chamber.
Clara.
Sorry, did you say my name?
Yes.
Okay, hi. I'm Claire Fuchschuber. I'm with Covia Home Match. We're a nonprofit that helps seniors find home sharing.
Colleen.
I am Colleen Awad. I work for Contra Costa County Supervisor Karen Mitchoff.
Thank you. Dan.
Hi all, Dan Pease with Cavu Wealth Advisors and also ambassador for the Chamber.
Denise.
Hi, I'm Denise Caldwell from HB Resources Insurance Services in Concord. We specialize in employee benefits for small businesses.
There's someone under the name of iPhone, and I'm not sure who you are.
Mystery item.
So sorry, the iPhone is Patience Ofodu, and I'm going to change it in a minute. I'm very sorry. So this is Patience Ofodu with a Workforce Development Board of Contra Costa County.
Oh, there she is. Hi, Patience.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Patience.
Hi.
I'm sorry, everyone keeps kind of mixing up on my list. Kevin.
Hey, I'm Kevin. I'm from the Concord Chamber of Commerce. Thanks.
Marie?
Hello, I'm Marie Vanson, Economic Development Specialist in the City of Concord.
Pam, did I already call on you? I'm sorry, everyone's jumbling on this. Pam Bayer?
He said, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, you've already talked to
Yeah,
Pam.
you've already
Okay,
talked.
thank you. Wendy?
Hey, good afternoon, guys. It's Wendy Moore with Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate, and I am on the board and as well as an ambassador. I encourage you to join us.
Thank you. And then we have a 925-876. I'm not sure who that is. You don't mind unmuting yourself? Okay. Isamar.
Hi, Isamar Hook with the Veranda Shopping Center, the general manager, and I'm also a board member of the Concord Chamber.
Did I miss anyone? Oh, someone is joining us.
Diane.
Oh, Diane, I'm so sorry. Diane.
That's okay. Save the best and the tallest for last. It's all good. Welcome, everybody. Diane Covington with Mary Kate Cosmetics, making the world more beautiful one face at a time. And also happy to be an ambassador. And we need more ambassadors, so join us.
While now Wendy and Diane have both said that, our next ambassador meeting will be November 4th, if anyone is interested in learning about it. And actually, Shawn just joined us yesterday, so we're growing our group.
Join us, join us.
Raban, you don't mind saying your name and who you're with?
And you need to unmute
Mute it.
yourself, Robin.
Here we go. Sorry, I was on my cell phone before. Raban Olson with BSM. We do janitorial, landscape, maintenance, and construction services.
And has also recently joined our board. And Joanna.
Hello, Joanna Segura with 24/7 Nightingale Home Care.
Now did I get everyone? Oh, William and Amanda, I am so sorry, my staff. William?
Good afternoon, everyone. William Chan, Membership Director here at the Concord Chamber of Commerce.
And Amanda.
Now the last for the best. That's for last. Hi, I am Amanda, and you guys know and love me as the admin assistant at the Concord Chamber of Commerce.
Know and love. I love that.
That's awesome and true.
Thelma, we got you, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I think we have everyone besides Shawn, right?
Did you get Colleen Awad? I think. Okay.
Good. All right.
What are you doing? Get it together.
Hey, we don't like seeing the behind the scenes stuff.
I'm gonna mute you, Kevin. All right.
Melissa's like off her game. That lady's like always on it, you know. I gotta
Because I intimidate her.
Man.
I intimidate her, Kevin, unfortunately.
I gotta go check it out when I see it going down.
At least we know he's not wearing pajama bottoms.
No, it's shorts.
Oh, were we not supposed to?
I haven't worn pants since COVID, so that's one good thing.
I just told
Well, I've only
information, Kevin.
I wore shorts. Sorry.
Yeah, Kevin, say long pants.
I mean, I've only wore shorts. Yeah, thank you. This is a great group. I really appreciate that.
There went all the guests as potential chamber members.
This isn't usually how it goes.
This is us.
All right. I'm going to reel us back in now. I'm going to introduce Shawn Einck. He is the owner of 1212 Home Improvement, but also the president of LEG, which is Life Skills Empowerment Group. And I'm going to turn it over to him. We're going to learn a few things from him today that I think everyone should know. I know the things we're going to be learning. I should probably know being a renter of a house. So I am very much looking forward to learning some things from Shawn. And why don't you take it away?
Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate everybody spending your lunch hour, if that's what this is, with us, with me today. It's really exciting for me because of the point at which LEG is right now, and I'll be sharing that with you in just a little bit. And I'll also be talking about 1212 as well, although I am only capable of doing that on the weekends right now. So if you want to hire me for your home improvement, we'll talk weekends, okay? First, let me get if I could, just get a raise of hands of any parents out there right now. Or actually, everybody raise your hand right now. Raise your hand, please. Thank you very much. All right, so not parents, put your hands down, please. Okay, very good. How about not elementary school? Put your hand down. Not middle school? And so we have our high school parents up right now, right? So Johanna, and sorry, I have a screen in my way. Okay, very good. So that is going to come into play of what we're talking about as far as what LEG wants to do and is doing right now. Okay, so be patient with me with that little intro. So how LEG started was from a very, very small little idea. And some of you were actually in the conference room at the Chamber of Commerce when we started talking about what I wanted to do with 1212 Home Improvement and how I wanted to give back to the community. I had an idea of going into the high schools and sharing what I do day in and day out, doing repairs, doing home maintenance, doing little upgrades, things like that, that high school students could do themselves. And it really just started a snowball of this idea of adulting. How many people have heard like this adulting term and adulting day? In fact, as I was watching my daughter's Barbie show with her this morning, they were talking about adulting. I was like, oh my God, it's everywhere, yes. So it's a pretty hot topic right now. However, I think it takes some programs like ours to really start getting the ball rolling if you want to get into the districts and if you want to get into charter schools, private schools, any type of schools, and start getting those important and essential topics back to the schools. So does anybody want to take a guess, unmute yourself, as to the percentage of middle school and high schools in Mount Diablo Unified School District that has some kind of shop class or shop, like an auto shop or a wood shop or a metal shop? Just a guess of the percentage of the schools that we have here in Mount Diablo. Any guesses? And Diane, you don't get to, my team does not get to guess because you already know.
I would probably say 0 to 1%, because I think it was in the budget cuts many years ago for all districts.
Thank you, Terry. That's good. Any other guesses? All right. Well, it's 5%. 5%. Okay. So if you're thinking about middle school and high school, so that's a pretty large number of schools actually, and it's 28%, which is still really, really, really low. Okay. We only have a few high schools that have an auto shop or even an auto club. And also we only have a few with wood shops and things like that. So that's what's starting to happen or has been happening over the last couple of decades. And all of you parents out there have seen it happen and are watching it happen. So that's what we're trying to do with LEG. And the way that I started my 1212 home improvement business, and many of you already know this, I was fortunate enough to grow up with my dad, who had me alongside of him every time he went into the garage to change the oil, to fix the fence. He was a man of many, many trades. And again, I was very fortunate. Kids these days, they may not have that in their life. So that's really what we want to provide as LEG. So like I said, it was a combination of giving back as 1212 Home Improvement, promote my business, but it blossomed into this huge, huge idea. And now that we are completely online, we have the capability of reaching out to so many other districts, so many other states, but we're starting nice and slow and we're really starting to build steam. So I feel extremely fortunate. Most of my team actually is here. My educators team, I've got Diane, I've got Tamara, she's on board, Pam, they've been with me since the beginning. Vinny's gonna say a few words once I'm done babbling here. He is our chairman of our board. And we are waiting around December, hopefully, fingers crossed, we will be getting our 501c3 status. So that's when we're really going to start cooking. The current topics that we have developed that we offer high school students, and by the way, let me go back a little bit. So it's only high school students so far that we are teaching right now and promoting our business to. Middle school is something that's in my plans for 2021. And I'm also talking with organizations like the Trinity Center to start focusing on 18 to 24-year-olds who have the need for our topics as well. So our topics currently are home improvement, of course, which I take care of, auto maintenance, time management and organization, which Diane usually spearheads, personal finance, which Pam, of course, takes care of for us, professional etiquette, which Tamara and Susan, I don't see Susan, maybe she was busy today. Susan Borelis, she teaches our personal etiquette, and what I miss? Professional, no, that's it, our 5. We are developing currently, some of you know Carrie Warner, she is going to be our cooking teacher. So we are developing a cooking class right now. But we are always looking for more topics. There's a huge list of, if you just look up life skills in general, of things that people think that their student, their high school student, if they graduate or not, are lacking in. Because unfortunately, like Terry said, the budgets have been cut. They are not being deemed as essential. You know, we were talking about the non-essential, essential things as COVID started happening. Well, these things are essential, right? We're having kids coming out of high school without knowing how to change their tire, right? They're relying on AAA, how to change your own oil, how to plunge your toilet, you know, how to button on a button on your jacket. Really, really simple things like this. And we are not doing big, extravagant topics, not yet at least. Looking forward to that, but really it's basic life skills. So it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time. I do ask you to look at our website, and I'll have that at the end of my presentation. By the way, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Leg logo, perfect, thank you. And to look at opportunities, we are always looking for educators. We're looking for administrative help. And by the way, everybody that is involved in LEG are 100% volunteered. And again, I'm completely grateful for the professionals that are a part of our team. It's just amazing. So, look on the website, please. See what opportunities are there. Another opportunity, we are completely 100% funded by sponsored businesses and private donations. Right now, soon I'll be looking at grants and things like that for 501c3. But currently, I do ask you, if you know anybody who wants to invest in a wonderful program like ours, please pass along the word. All right. One other thing before I let Vinny say a few words and then start teaching you a few things. We do have a fee-based intensive that you may have seen our flyer for in the email blast. It's also on our website. It's $30 for all 5 of our classes. So it's 1 class per day. They're usually about an hour, and that starts October 19th. So if you know of anybody, any high school students, maybe even middle school students who want to join, there's still spots for registering, and you can find all that information on our website. Okay. So I will let Vinny say a few things. Our wonderful, wonderful chairman. Take it away, Vinny. Thank you.
Thanks, Shawn, and thank you for inviting me to this meeting. I'm so glad there's so many familiar faces because as you know, I've recently kind of transitioned a little bit. I joined LEG for a number of reasons, and when Shawn asked me to participate, he said, just share your feelings as to why you joined the board, why you wanted to be a part of LEG. And what I shared with him, and I'll share with you, is that I have 2 daughters that grew up in San Francisco. We looked at all of the schools, like so many people, I'm sure we had to put our girls in private schools, and we searched long and hard for those schools that offered life skill training. And I'm here because I'm very fortunate. Both our daughters are very, very capable of doing some of the things that Shawn just talked about. My daughter, we're selling a car. My daughter came up this past weekend, my youngest one, detailed the car, changed the oil, had to change a flat tire. It loves to cook. Partly due to me, because I love to cook, but the school she attended in San Francisco touched on all of those things, helped her gain the life skills that she needed to perfect, and she took it upon herself to continue that. Our oldest daughter, she also had some training in finances. I mean, she can manage her finances very well, and I'm so proud of them because when I see them around their friends, oftentimes their friends are calling them for help. So I've served on 2 school boards before, and I know the challenges that the schools face. And when Shawn told me what he was doing and what LEG was about, I really wanted to be a part of it because I'm committed to helping students really learn life skills, things that most schools are not able because of budget cuts, as I think Terry pointed out. Most schools just don't have the money anymore to be able to do this. So I appreciate being here. I want to be a part of its success. I'm going to work with Shawn very closely to try to raise money for LEG. And if any of you have questions or want us to get involved with anyone that you think might be a potential lead for us to talk about LEG, talk about funding, and talk about how the educational program works, I'm here to help Shawn in any way, and I'm certainly here to help you answer any questions I can. So with that, I'll pass it back to Shawn, and he can begin educating you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Vinny. I appreciate that. All right. I just realized that you couldn't see my shirt. This is one of my favorite Father's Day presents that I got. This is not a drill. So it's, I didn't want you to think that I was dressing down for our presentation here. This is very appropriate for what we are about to learn. So this is just going to be a little snippet of what we offer to our students, right? We very much let them know that we are not professionals in these topics. We are professionals. We are professionals in what we do during our day, our careers. And again, I feel extremely fortunate for the professionals that I have working with us. And one of the things that I think sets LEG apart from some of the other programs that might be doing this is that we don't have certified teachers. We have real professionals working in the fields and really down-to-earth people just having fun and teaching an awesome life skill, an important and a unique life skill. I always like to say important and unique because unfortunately it has become unique in the school systems. So we also let the students know that we understand that you may know some of this education. We're not here to teach you something that you already know, but it's just to enhance your existing education, right? So you might already know how to plunge a toilet. Some people don't, but let's jump right into it. Thanks for being here. All right, so we like to make it as interactive and as fun as possible. I have a theater degree from San Francisco State, so I love presenting and teaching. It's one of the reasons why I really wanted to start this, so I could get in front of people and get your accolades, of course. So we always start off by saying congrats. You are here. You're having a wonderful time. You've taken the step to be here with us and learn life skills. Thank you for being with us. Who is LEG? I've already told you, so I'm not going to get into that. All right, then I explain why it's important for me and why I'm the person that's teaching you home maintenance, right? There's my business, and this is what I specialize in. We do a little disclaimer. We don't have to go through that, but I left this in just to show you that we take safety very seriously, and we just to have this up in order for them to start thinking, well, maybe I should have an adult with me while I'm trying some of these things, right? And we absolutely, especially with the automotive maintenance class, we touch on safety a lot. Lee, who is our auto teacher, our auto educator, pardon me, he says safety things almost every second. So it's awesome. And that's the one topic that we don't want to skimp on, right? Absolutely. So I like to start off saying that you would be amazed at how many people call me up as 1212 Home Improvement and say, I've got something stuck down in my drain and I say, okay, you know, I charge $85 an hour, right? And in my head, I say that it's going to take me probably about a second, and you're going to have to pay me $85 for that hour in order to get that ring or that heirloom or whatever that went down your sink. And they say, yes, please, I don't know how to do it. So I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it. And what you see on your screen here is a picture, a diagram of how your sink plumbing works. Okay, you see the sink up there at the top. This, where it says flow, is your tailpipe that goes down into what is called a P-trap. I'm sure some of you or most of you have heard the term P-trap, right? Sometimes it's called an S-trap. It's a different kind. And actually, if you have an S-trap, at least in Contra Costa County, it's not to code. It doesn't allow this flow to get down into your sewer pipes as well. And I go in and I change these out because of that. After an inspector goes in, or it's deemed, you know, not good to sell your home, I come in and I just change out the P-trap. So if something is dropped down in here, depending on how heavy it is, I don't like to say that everything can be reclaimed. Let's say it's very light. That thing is just going to go with the flow down into the sewer, right? But if it's a ring or like an earring, that is typically things that are dropped down in a bathroom sink or in a kitchen sink or something. It just sits right down in the P area. So the reason it's called a P trap is because it does kind of, if you look this way, or if you maybe stand on your head a little bit, it resembles the letter P, right? So I do have one right here to show you, okay? This is the actual P-trap, all right? This is the area where the tailpipe comes down from your sink, okay? And if you were to drop something down into your sink, this is where you would reclaim it. So it'd be sitting right down in here. You would obviously need a bucket underneath you because there's gonna be a lot of water. There's probably gonna be some hair and some gunk and some smell, right? And the reason that I leave our drainage diagram here where you see it going into the wall is because this is pretty important as well. So let me show you. You can pick these up at Ace Hardware, at Home Depot, at Lowe's, anywhere. It comes in a little kit just like this. This one's called P-trap for wall connection. Okay, and there's different varieties, but for the most part, you get the white kind, or sometimes they're black, and you're good to go. Right? The way this fits together, okay, if you look at the P-trap and you look at the connection here, it's got a built-in washer with it. And that's really important for sealing up all that water that is coming down through your pipe that wants to go to the sewer. You don't want to go in under your sink, right? So this is what's called a slip joint nut right here, if you can see it nicely. And it's nice because it has these little thumb turns on it. Typically, you don't need a wrench or a plumber's wrench or anything to tighten it, but you do have to be careful because these plastic or PVC fittings, if you over tighten them, they can ruin your threading, and you would have issues with it sealing correctly, right? So all I'm doing, I'm just doing it with my thumb here, right? And it fits nicely. Now, I pointed out on the connection, it had a built-in washer. Okay, if you remember, it had a built-in washer. This side that goes into your wall, and if you see on your diagram, the flow goes into your wall, and we'll talk about that vent pipe in just a second. You've got a washer, okay? A washer that comes off, and this is really important. The way that the washer needs to be pointing, the small bevel, you've got a large bevel, you've got a small bevel. The small bevel always goes towards the water flow, okay? My slip joint nut just flew off. If not, then you're gonna have sealing issues, okay? It's not going to seal correctly. You're gonna bang your head up against the wall, and you're not gonna know why you have water gushing out. Now, I've colored one red to illustrate the bevel sides. You've got a small bevel. Here you go, Kevin. I'll put it up closer for you. Small bevel, and then you've got the large bevel, right? Always remember, water flow, small bevel goes with the water flow, okay? So you see the flow goes through the wall, and you've got what's called a vent pipe or a vent shaft. It can be called either or, doesn't mean that they're different, right? And what that allows is for it to go down into your sewer. Now, let me go to our next graphic. If you look on top of any housing, like even apartment building, house, no matter what size, if they have a sink, if they have a toilet, if they have anything that goes down into the sewer, you're going to have a vent pipe stack going up through your roof. If you go out right now, you will see on every rooftop, there's at least 1 or 2 up there. Sometimes you see 15, 16 if you live in a mansion, which I'm sure most of you do, right? Sometimes you see a little mushroom cap up on the top. That just prevents rain or a bird to go down in there, or a squirrel. The reason I bring this up is because if there's an issue with your vent pipe, you can have issues with your water flow, and you won't be able to drain your sink or whatever that you've been working on correctly. A clear indication for a vent pipe problem or to troubleshoot it is that if you smell like a sulfur or a sewage smell coming up through your drain, that could mean that the physics of your water is not going down correctly. Because really this is physics. I don't want to get too technical, but the air that allows to go up out of your roof allows that water to go down into your sewer with physics, with gravity. If it was capped up at the top, obviously it'd just be slushing around and just staying in your pipes, right? So if you have that smell, could be that, well, either you have a lot of hair going down the drain, it's just getting gross, or you have an issue with the vent pipe or vent stack, okay? All right, so how many people know who this guy is? Come on, all you parents out there, it's Mario. Yes, so we are gonna talk about our plungers, okay? And I always like to tell my students, yes, this is a brand new plunger. It is not used because I get a lot of, ew, he's touching a plunger. And I make a little joke saying, I even drank my coffee out of this morning, so don't worry about it. It is not gross. It has not been in a toilet, okay? How many of you knew that there were more than one type of plunger? Okay, we have some, got some smart people here. Good, Tamara, you've seen this before. That doesn't count. Okay, so there's different types and there's different usages for the different types of your plungers. So let's go through them really closely and really quickly, okay? The number one that you see there on your screen is called a cup plunger, all right? And this is a cup plunger right here. It's just one, aptly named, it has a cup on it. And the purpose for this type of plunger is for drains that have a flat surface around it. So if you're thinking like a shower that has a flat floor on it that has a drain, right? It allows you to get around that drain and get the perfect seal for you to start plunging out whatever gross stuff is in there. Sometimes you see those flat drains outside, and hopefully you don't have any curves or anything in your sidewalks or in your patio, in your concrete, right? But that's a really good use for this. Sometimes outside drains, showers, anything with a flat surface. So that's a cup plunger, number one, cup plunger. Number two is a flange plunger, okay? And ta-da, sometimes they're transformers. So you can get a cup plunger that has the flange already built into it. So it's really cool and fun if you want to touch plungers, right? But yeah, depending on what drain you are trying to repair or plunge, you can set it to whatever you need, right? So our flange plunger, number two, is obviously for toilets. You have your curved drains. You need to get down into the area that you're trying to plunge in order to get a better suction and a better coverage. Okay, so that's pretty typical, right? Number three is called an accordion plunger. Now that's more so for commercial use, bigger drains, harder to get to toilet bowls, things like that. And as you see, it just allows more flexibility and more air that you can't, here, I'll put this aside. I don't know why I have that. Just allow more of that air, more of that plunging action and suction to get down into your toilet, because you can see it has a flange on the bottom. It's not a cup one, it's a flange to really get at those really hard drains. Okay, right. It's quiz time, everybody, and we will have a prize at the end, but for right now, let's just test what you've already learned, okay? So let me get over to my screen and see what you know. Now, this is interactive on your screen, so please answer what you know, Okay, I will see you start to answer them. 1 second. And let's do it. I don't have my Jeopardy song that Susan usually plays for me, but maybe I'll just do it. So, number 1, why is a P-trap called a P-trap? Is it because it collects urine? You pull items from it. The shape of the pipe forms a P shape. Wink, wink. All of the above. Do. We do actually play that Jeopardy song, which I always wonder if the high school students these days even know what it is. Number 2, let's move on. What is another name for a vent pipe? We talked about that, right? Is it pipe vent, venticular pipage, vent shaft, or none of the above? All right, we did 2. Typically we have 4 questions for each section, but I just wanted to give you a little taste again. I see there's 10 of 20 in. We have 55% in now. Very good. I'll give you another 10 seconds. Do. Anybody want to do the Jeopardy song for me? Come on, Pam. You're a singer. All right, let's go over your results. See how you did. Looks like you did pretty good. Why is a P-trap called a P-trap? 92% of you said the shape of the pipe forms a P shape. Absolutely. Great job, everybody. What is another name for a vent pipe? Vent shaft, 69%. All right, some of you aren't paying attention too close, but the correct answer is vent shaft. All right, wonderful. Thanks for participating. And like I said, at the end, we will do a verbal bonus question where you can win our sponsored book, and I'll tell you more about that soon. Let's move on.
You're awesome, man. A verbal bonus question and quiz time. I love it.
Absolutely. You got to make it fun, right? These are high schoolers. Let's talk electricity for a second. When we have electricity, a little joke. I've actually never said that before. We need to really pay attention to how things are being run, right? And part of that is, like I said before, some people call me into their homes and say, hey, this isn't working. And I go in and I touch a button, which I'll show you in a second. And it's, again, 1 minute's worth of work and I get that $85, money, cash in hand. So hopefully I will teach you something that you could do at your own home to avoid paying me big money, right? So hopefully all of your electrical outlets around any water source, so your kitchen sink, your bathroom sink, your toilets, anything around, maybe even in your laundry room, you should have, and honestly by code, if you had your home inspected, they would be looking at this. You should have a GFCI outlet. And what that stands for is ground fault circuit interrupter. Okay, and I just happen to have one right here. Okay, it's in the package. You can pick these up really anywhere that sells home improvement things. This is the package, and there are different kinds of them. Sometimes your reset and test buttons, which I'll tell you what those are about, are colored differently. Sometimes you don't have this indicator light. Okay, but what this awesome little gadget does, and these are really awesome. If whatever is plugged into this outlet, so let's say a hair dryer, if it shorts for whatever reason, let's say someone's shaving their face at a sink with a bunch of water in it, and they're also blowing their hair dry for whatever reason, that's really talented, at the same time, and it's on and it drops down in there, instead of getting electrocuted, if you have this and if it's functioning correctly, this will trip at your source instead of going all the way to your circuit breaker and you still standing there getting shocked. Okay, so let's look over exactly how these work. All right? So if you see our little guy here with no hair, I wish he had hair because it would be funny to say that those shock lines on below are actually his hair going out like that. He's standing in water outside, holding a radio, jamming out to whatever 90s love ballads he likes. And he's got it plugged into a GFCI outlet up on the top, okay? If that shorted, it would be stopped right at the outlet, okay? If you look down at the next little graphic, if he just had a 20 amp outlet without a GFCI, ground fault circuit interrupter, it would have to travel all the way to your circuit breaker at your electrical box, wherever that may be, and you're standing there getting shocked at 20 amps. Now, let me show you a little bit more of what these are comprised of. So the red button here is a reset button, okay? If for some reason you had a power surge or something, this would pop, okay? And if your outlet is not working, so the person who hired me for $85 an hour to come into their home, sometimes I go in and I pop that reset button and it starts working right away. And I did mention that indicator light right here. Some of them have them, some of them don't. If it's green, it's working very, very nicely, hopefully. If it's yellow, that means that you have to troubleshoot and you have to see what the problem is. If it's red, then you have issues. And like I said before, sometimes the colors of the indicator lights are different. Sometimes they function differently. So this may not be across the board universally, right? If your reset button isn't working, you can push this test button. This test button resets your reset button. Say that 5 times fast. So there are things that you can try before you call a professional like me to come in and get you electricity back to your hair dryer, okay? Another thing, if this didn't work, reset, things like that, you should go to your electrical outlet box where your breakers are and see if any breakers have been tripped. So let's talk about that in a second. Let me talk about this for just another second because this is really important. There's GFCI outlets, ground fault circuit interrupter, and that protects your circuit and your outlet. Okay, there are outlets called GFIs, pardon me, that doesn't protect your circuit. It only protects your outlet. So if you're going to purchase these, and they're good $20 to $30, I would pay the extra money and get the ground fault circuit interrupter. That way you're covering everything. The GFI only takes care of your outlet. Okay, does that make sense? Thumbs up, big thumbs up. I'm seeing this too. Yes.
I didn't know that.
All right. So here's a picture of a typical breaker box or electrical box. How many people at your home or at your business know where this is located? Seeing some, okay. Typically, it's located in a hallway closet, in a closet in a bedroom, in your garage, things like this. And they look similar to this, if not exactly like this. And I love this graphic actually because it's so nicely labeled. You'd be amazed the houses I go into, and it has like dog next to one of the breakers. I'm like, what does dog mean? But I do have a fancy, cool electrical tool that I can bring up and see which one corresponds to whatever outlet. So it's really nice. So I like to bring this up for our students to kind of show them, make sure that they know where their electrical box is, because that's very important. If we had an earthquake, right, you'd want to turn off your electricity. B, if you had a power surge or something faulted, you'd know how to go to your circuit breakers and be able to know how to turn it off and on, okay? And I like to bring up, if you ever needed to turn off your main electricity for your entire property, okay? You see the big main breaker up on top. If you needed to turn everything off, it's really best to do what's called offloading. Offloading is offloading all of your electricity that's in the property that's connected to this electrical panel, okay? So what you would do is you would turn off all the individual circuits first, then turn off your main breaker. Then subsequently, when you turn it back on, you would do that in reverse. Turn on the main breaker, turn on all of your individuals again. So if you don't know, you should, like I said, this should be labeled saying kitchen, and that breaker is corresponding to all of your things in your kitchen or half the things in your kitchen, right? So these breakers allow the electricity to flow to what you have it corresponded to. And I just happen to have, who knew, a few breakers right here. There's all kinds of different ones, okay? I've got a 20 amp right here, 20 amp single, and I've got a 30 amp double. Is that upside down? Yes, it is. 30 amp double. So the one thing that you really need to remember when you're designating things onto each circuit is that you can't go over the amperage. So let's say you're doing a 20 amp GFCI. You have to know that you are going into a 20 amp or more breaker. Okay, and that's advanced electricity, electronics. We won't go too deep into that. But the one thing that I like to point out to our students is that if something were to trip, sometimes when you go to the breaker box, it may not look like it's tripped. So the best thing to do, sometimes, you've got your off and on. This is how you easily up and down, right? And it's labeled here. It's really hard to see sometimes. So actually this is on for this one, and this is off. Sometimes when a breaker is tripped, it goes about halfway and it doesn't look like it's tripped. So the one thing that I always recommend is that you just flip it to off, flip it back to on, and that'll do it. That'll do it for you. And if you have questions of which one it is, just do them all. Make sure that nobody's on the Wi-Fi that needs to be on the Wi-Fi, like your wife or your husband or whoever, in the middle of a meeting. Just start flipping them on and off. It's better to interrupt your Wi-Fi rather than not have power to something, right? Especially your hair dryers. People love their hair dryers. Okay, let's move on. Has anybody ever seen breakers like this? Anybody? So I always like to tell my students, I really don't like these because they're ancient. Typically you see them in older homes. They are called screw-in or bus breakers. And as you see, this one right here, most of them are called bus. So it's kind of like Kleenex tissue, it's kind of the brand bus. So you may hear bus breakers a lot, but they're just really just screw-in breakers. The reason I don't like these is because you actually physically have to screw them out and then you have to screw a new one in. So hopefully you have a box of these laying around, you have the correct amperage, and you can screw them right back in. It's not a big deal, and luckily they still provide these type of breakers. But yeah, I don't like seeing them, and it's really hard to label them as well, as you can see on this graphic. The way that you know that the fuse has been blown, you don't have a on-off switch, is that it has that cool window right there, and it just blackens up because it's been blown, right? So again, you just screw that blown one out, pardon me, and you screw it back in, and you should be good to go. All right. I think it's quiz time, everybody. Let's see what you've learned, shall we? Let's go into our next one. All right. Hopefully do a little better than last time. I don't know, that second question, that was a low percentage. Let's see if you can better yourselves. Number one, what does GFCI stand for, everybody? Is it ground fault circuit interrupter, grapes, fruit, citrus, incandescent, ground frozen cat identifier, none of the above, or all of the above? You choose. Pam, please do the Jeopardy. Come on. It's Thursday.
Do, 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 do.
I love it.
Do, 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 do,
Thank you, Pam. You get gold stars.
do, do, do. We're done.
Okay, gold stars for Pam. All right, number two, what is the difference between GFCI and GFI outlet? We talked about this. GFCI protects the circuit and outlet. GFI protects the outlet only. All of the above or none of the above? I'm seeing a little split on this one. So 30% said GFCI protects the circuit and outlet, and 64% now said all of the above. So GFI protects the outlet only. That is true. GFCI protects the circuit and outlet. That's also true. So the correct answer is all of the above. A little tricky, but can't make them too easy, right? Great job, everybody. I really appreciate you participating in that. Let us move on. I'll let that jiggle a little bit because I like the graphic. Okay. Like I said, we have a sponsor. Thank you, Melissa. So let's make sure that everybody can win a prize. And this is our current prize that we like to give out. It's our sponsored book. It is donated to us. Catherine Newman has written this really, really cool book, How to Be a Person, 65 hugely useful, super important skills to learn before you're grown up. That's really fun. It's really fun. It's illustrated nicely. The students really tend to like it. And whoever answers the verbal bonus question, we physically send it to them, okay? So I would love to send whoever can answer this question a book. And now I'm totally spacing on what it was. Typically, I ask the students what the name of my business is, and they usually get stumped. But I had one and I should have written it down. Okay, how about this? What do you need to do in order to change your oil? And I know I'm going off of what we already did. Should you change your oil when the oil's hot, when it's warm or when it's cold, and we're talking about car. All right. I see Diane put in something in the chat already. I'll take a hand. I'll take a verbal shout out. I'm seeing some put in cold. I'm seeing some warm. Any other guesses? I mean, this is basically a multiple choice I gave you. So actually, it is warm. So you don't want to do it right away after driving it for really more than 5 minutes. You don't want to do it when it's cold. You want to start draining and putting in more oil when it's warm. So thank you guys so much. Let's see, who should I give this one to? I'm not going to give it to Kevin because he has too much stuff as it is. Well, Diane doesn't get one. She's on my team.
No, I already knew the answer.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I'm just going to pick at random. Claudia Boer, please get your information to Melissa and I will send this to you in the mail, okay? Thanks for playing. All right, so let me show you at the end what we do with our students. Basically, they're in our LEG membership now, everybody, okay? So you are too. You're in our membership. That's why we like to call it Life Skills Empowerment Group. It's a group. So we let them know for life, if you have any questions about what we just went over, about anything related to life skills, we give them this, email portal, question and answer portal. So please take a screenshot of this, write this down, legqa@gmail.com. I'd love for you to follow up and ask me any questions after today, on weekend, whatever. So it's legqa@gmail.com. And then we ask them to take a look at our website, obviously, take 2 minutes to take our survey. If we do these for schools, we send the survey information to the administrator who I've been coordinating with. But for like our intensives, we have a QR code right here. And if you have your phone with you, open up your camera, put it right up to that QR code, and it should pop right up and you'll be able to take our survey. Please let us know what you think about our program. And as always, please like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter now. That's something new. That's why I don't have it listed here. And we always like to end our sessions with an awesome quote that we love. In the age of information, ignorance is a choice, everybody, by Donald Miller. Okay, so thanks for joining us. Hope you learned a lot. And thanks for joining us during this time, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Shawn. That was actually really informative.
Don't sound so shocked.
And entertaining. Good job.
So good.
Very entertaining. I think there's still things that I need to learn. So that intensive might be good for me too.
Maybe I'll give you a little discount.
Oh, thanks. You're a great presenter. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you. It's fun.
If everyone could give Shawn a silent round of applause or put your little clappy hands up in the corners.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
and guys, that's just my class. All the other classes are as awesome, informative, and interactive. So hope you can join some.
Definitely
please
check it
please
out.
Spread the word. And Chamber, thanks for having me and supporting us.
Of course. And speaking of that as well, if any one of you are interested in speaking at a women's group or know of a great speaker, please let me know and we can definitely try to get them as a speaker. Shawn reached out and I thought this was important for everyone to learn. So I'm very happy that this was one of our topics. But like I said, if you guys have any suggestions of topics you want to hear, speakers specifically you want to hear, chamber members you want to hear from, let us know and we'll get them scheduled as well.
Great.
And then just 2 quick events that we have coming up. On next Tuesday, October 13th at 8:30 a.m., we are hosting our Maximize Your Membership orientation, where we will be going over the chamber in general, get to know us a little bit, get to know the chamber, and then updating your webpage through our website and how you can use your member information center a lot more for jobs, hot deals, whatever it may be. So we'll be sharing the screen and teaching you guys that. And then next Thursday at 5:00 p.m. is our after hours mixer, and we'll be doing the same as last month. We'll be breaking everyone out into different groups so everyone can get a chance to meet each other and have some discussion topics. But if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to let you guys go, have some lunch, enjoy, and thank you again, Shawn, for having us.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
That was great. Thank you.
Thanks, Kev.